AI video is officially here, and today we're going to show you how to use Adobe Firefly's text to video as well as image to video and everything you need to know. Hello and welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nason. Today is all about AI video. We're going to be exploring Adobe Firefly's new text to video and image to video models. We're going to show you how to use all of the different settings, how to load your own images from start to end frames, and we're going to see what works and what still needs a little bit of improvement. So for now, this is a completely web-based feature. This has not been integrated into the applications like Photoshop or Premiere. You have to use Firefly on the web. The other thing we're going to mention is that Adobe has introduced premium generative credits. Now, previously we had standard generative credits, which we've used in Photoshop, and it would use 1 credit per image you generated. Now you do have to pay additionally for premium generative credits, and it uses 20 credits per second of video that you create. And right now we're creating 5-second videos at 1080p. That's what we're limited to with this new Firefly model. So it is an additional subscription that you do have to pay for. It is an additional charge. And now we have the distinction between standard generative credits and premium generative credits. So if you're used to using your standard generative credits in Photoshop, you are going to have an additional plan for premium generative credits. I just want to make sure that's very clear because I was a little bit confused, but that's how it works. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on in and show you how to use this brand new tool. So we're starting off here at firefly.adobe.com. You're gonna wanna go ahead and log in with your Adobe ID, and we're gonna go right here to the video tab. Now, there are a lot of features. Some of these are available now, some of these are coming soon. So text to video, this is in beta, it's available now. We're gonna be testing this out. Image to video, this is also still in beta today. We're gonna be testing this out. Translate video, this is gonna be using premium credits as well. It's going to be able to upload a video and translate that into a new language, which would be amazing for a lot of creators who want to put their videos into different languages, put them on social media. Now, these are upcoming features. Enhance speech, remove noise, and improve audio quality. Now, we've seen this with podcast.adobe.com previously, but they're adding this to Firefly. And then coming soon, we have text to avatar, which will generate a video with a virtual avatar by providing a written script. Basically, you just have to type out a script, or you could have AI do it, and a virtual avatar, someone just like me, but non-existent, will basically talk through the script. It's a little bit scary, but it's coming soon. So today we're gonna be testing out text to video and image to video. So either one of these you click on, you're gonna have the same exact interface. So let's go ahead and talk through the interface. Now, here on the left, you have your general settings. Your model, right now, the Firefly model, this is the only model that you can choose. It's the beta model. I do like here for aspect ratio, you can choose between widescreen or vertical. So if you want to create vertical video for social media, that's amazing. We're gonna stick to widescreen for now. And frames per second, right now it's limited to 24 frames per second. That's okay. It's probably gonna have more like 30 and 60 in the future. Okay, now this is really cool. For your camera, you can actually change your shot size. So you can change this from extreme close-up to close-up shot, medium shot, long shot, extreme long shot. So you have an idea of how you want to frame the actual shot. You can change your camera angle. So you can go from an aerial shot, eye level, high angle, low angle, and top down. And if you just choose none, it's just gonna do whatever it thinks would look best. There we go. Now, motion is also super cool because you can choose whether you want it to zoom in, zoom out, move right, move left, tilt up, tilt down, handheld, and static as well. So you have all of those controls. Now, here on the bottom part, this is basically the history of everything that I've created using this account. And here we have the ability to write a prompt and add images, first frame and a second frame. So we're gonna start off with text to video. And for that, literally all we have to do is write in a prompt. So I'm gonna say a beautiful walk through the woods. There we go, a beautiful walk through the woods. I wanna see what this gives me. Now let's go ahead and choose some settings here. Our shot size, I want this to be let's see. Let's go for a medium shot, that looks pretty good. Our camera angle, I want this to be a low angle shot. Maybe we can see up towards the woods. And we're just gonna kind of have this be a tilt up. So maybe we can have it tilt up towards the actual woods and the sky. I think that's gonna be really nice. So we can choose all of that. We can spell beautiful correctly if we want to. So you can actually put up to 180 characters here, so you can be really descriptive on exactly what you want to happen, or you can just keep it nice and simple, just like you would with generative AI or generative fill in Adobe Photoshop. All right, so we have everything set. Now, what we're gonna go ahead and do is just click on generate. Now, when we click on generate, we have our generating video and we get this cute little guy. This generally takes about 60 seconds to generate. Now, keep in mind, what we're gonna be generating is a 5-second video that's limited to 1080p. That's the maximum length we can generate, and that's the maximum resolution that we can generate at this time. And it's gonna be using 20 advanced generative credits per second of video that it generates. So keep in mind, it is super computer intensive. That's why there are these new advanced generative credits, and that's why it uses so much, because, generating a single image is a lot less computing power than generating every single frame for a video. So keep that in mind. We're gonna jump back in when we get the results from this test. So the first video test is done. We can go ahead here and click on the play icon and see what we have. And pretty much everything that I asked it to do, it nailed. So we had a medium shot, it is a low angle shot, and it does tilt up. So literally everything that I said, it is doing. Now I said a walk through the woods, there's no one walking, but it is a picture, it's a video of the woods, which is really cool. Now you can download this if you want it, and you can also view this in full screen. So I did a very simple prompt here. Now you can put up to 180 words in your prompt. So I'm not gonna type in 180 words, but let's see what happens when we put this to the test. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna move to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna say, write a 180 word prompt that I'm gonna be using for Adobe Firefly's text to video model about people walking through the woods, and I want this photographed on a really nice camera. There we go. Let's go ahead and hit check on that little and then, ChatGPT is just going to do this for me. So what we're going to test is the results of a very simple prompt versus a very complex prompt. All right, this is, wow, 180 words. Look at that. Cool, I didn't have to type any of that, copy that, and we're just going to paste that in right here and click on generate, okay? And here we are, we're generating our video. We're going to come back when this is done. So the results are in for our advanced prompt. Now we can see we had a group of people walk slowly through the woods. They're dressed casually, and it's going to be shot in an RE or a red camera. Let's go ahead and see these results here. Hitting play. Honestly, this looks really pretty good, I gotta say, overall. Now I'm going to get a little bit nitpicky here. We're going to move to full screen, and I'm just going to go right back to their faces. Okay. So we're gonna see this model, just like with generative fill, this is just falling short a little bit when it comes to people's faces and hands. We know that AI is just not that great right now. I mean, some are better than others if we're being honest, but the faces just kind of don't really work in this case. All right, let's hit escape. But all the movement and the camera angles and everything, if there weren't people in this, I would be like, okay, that's an actual video camera that shot that. Now, also keep in mind, it had all of these settings applied. So it still did a medium shot, it still did a low angle shot, it still did a tilt up. All of those settings were applied, but the image obviously looks quite a bit better, like letting it know that we want it to be an ARRI Alexa or a red and all of these different settings here. This is the first video that we generated. You can see it really doesn't look nearly as realistic. And then this is the second video that we generated here. All right, so what we're gonna be doing, now we know that it's not gonna do great with people's faces, so let's take it a little bit easy on this test, and we're just gonna do a new prompt with ChatGPT, and we're gonna remove the people. So I just did a new prompt. I used ChatGPT again, basically saying a peaceful forest scene, still shot with an ARRI Alexa or a red, and this time I just talked about like putting birds into that video. So let's go ahead and click play on our result. And here we can see we've got some realistic birds flying through the shot. But then again, all of our settings are still there. Medium, low angle, and tilt up. And this looks a lot better than the people did, if we're being honest. So to be expected, still people's faces are not that great, but text to video is looking really good. And all in all, I do have to say that using an AI like ChatGPT to generate a prompt actually does give us better results. So that's all text to video. Now let's go ahead and do image to video, where you can upload your own images, either just a start frame, or you can do a start frame and an end frame as well. So for this, basically we can upload our frame. You can upload just a single image, or you can upload a first and a last frame as well. Now it does keep all this, no matter how many times you generate things, it's just gonna keep this same prompt. So let's go ahead and upload this image. Our first one, I wanna do a time lapse of this, like basically going to sunset. And you can see this is a vertical image. So I want my video to be vertical as well. So here on the left, we're gonna go to our aspect ratio. Let's go ahead and make sure that it's set to vertical. 24 frames per second looks good. Now, if I upload an image, I only have options to choose my camera movement. And let's go ahead, we're gonna go to zoom in, which looks pretty good. And then here, all you have to do is just delete this prompt, and we're just gonna say time lapse sunset. Okay, nice and simple, and we just have one frame image. So we're gonna start with this image. We're gonna expect it to see a time lapse, and it's going to be a vertical video. Now we're gonna click on generate. It says prompt is too short. You have to use 4 words. Okay. Beautiful. There we go. Let's click on generate and see what we get. And our vertical video is done. So let's go ahead and click on play and see what we get. And it's nailed this. A time lapse of a sunset. Honestly, I think this did a fantastic job. Now, the history bar right over here, you can hit view all, and it's actually going to go to all of your history. I haven't been able to get this to work. I keep saying no matching results, even though I've been doing this for a while, so I'm not actually sure what's going on there. But if you do want this to go away, you can actually just click on this generation history, and it's going to get a little smaller. So let's go ahead and hit play, and there we can see. Honestly, I think it totally nailed this time lapse. This is the kind of thing that we kind of expect this to be good at. There's no people, there's nothing crazy happening. It's just a time lapse of a building and some trees. So now let's get a little bit more complicated. We're gonna be doing a start frame and an end frame. So to go to basically, this is why I wish there was a new button here, because I just have to go here and figure this out, that I have to like remove that first frame, and I have to go and remove this prompt, and then I have to reset all my settings. Just give me a new button here. I would love that. Anyway, I'm just complaining, but you know, it's kind of annoying to have to like go and manually reset all the options every time you want to do this. I'll stop complaining now. Let's click our first frame. And for this one, we're going to get a little bit more complicated. Okay. We're going to use a guy here. Let's go ahead and open that up. And then we're also going to click here, and we're going to do an end frame as well. Now this, I want the video, we're going to go to a widescreen video. Okay. And this time I don't have any control. There's this seed. Let's go ahead and remove this seed. This is basically just an AI setting that gives it a random generation. So I've given it a first and a last frame. They're both of a person. And let's go ahead and click on generate. So like the idea is that it should just transition from one frame to the other. So if you're doing a photo shoot and you want to turn a couple of photos that you took into a video, hopefully you'll be able to do this. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like, but it might not do so well with his face. But hey, we're gonna see. Cool, so the results are in. Let's go ahead and click on play, and it did kind of okay. Our guy was wearing sunglasses. Now the photographs that I gave it were vertical, and I did ask it to do horizontal video, so it kind of just didn't really include that guy's face. Maybe new faces aren't that great in AI just yet, but all in all, it did pretty good. But we're gonna have to run another test where we set this to vertical. So let's go ahead and click here. We're gonna go to vertical because the images that I uploaded were vertical. So we're gonna do another test and see how that looks. Okay, so the results are in. Keep in mind here, this is our start frame and this is the end frame. So we're starting off with kind of a closer shot of this guy and then moving to a faraway shot. So let's see what it actually did with the video. So started off a little bit closer, kind of looked away, some handheld movement, and came back. Honestly, it did a pretty good job. I'm impressed. Okay, his face isn't like the best. We're gonna full screen this, so we're gonna see, okay, you know, his face isn't like the best. You know, if that was me, I don't think I'd be too happy with this. But if we're not thinking about faces and we're not thinking about text, then actually the rest of the image, the video did really quite well. He looked away, the movement is quite natural. And, you know, this is going to improve with time. So all in all, I would say this is pretty good. Now I got one more test. I just want to throw in something like hopefully will be easy. I just want a video of a flower opening. Okay, we're not gonna have any faces, we're not gonna have anything complex. So let's go ahead and do that. So for this, we're going to have to go to our frames here and remove the frame and then remove the frame. And then we can go ahead, we're gonna go to add our first frame. And then I just want to use this picture of a flower opening. There we go. And we're just going to set this to vertical. That looks good. And I want this to be a zoom out video. And we're not going to be doing an end frame, but I am going to describe this flower opening and show many flowers. Beautiful. There we go. Flower opening and show many flowers. Beautiful. I am so good at this. That's why I use ChatGPT to help me with prompts. All right, click on generate and let's see what we get. So the results are in and we're gonna go ahead and click on play and see, yeah, that's done actually a pretty good job. It's starting to look a little bit fake. Like I didn't specify that I wanted it to be like a high quality camera image. It is looking a little bit fake. So we're just gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna run the prompt through ChatGPT and tell it I want to have a high quality camera, and then we'll see what that looks like. So we're back with our result, and as you can see, I use ChatGPT, create a cinematic image. It's gonna be shot with an ultra high definition camera. It basically just added a lot more text, and let's see the end result. There we go. And you know what? I gotta say, it actually looks way, way better. When I just wrote my simple prompt, let's go ahead here. We're gonna go ahead and view our generation history here. So we're gonna click play on this icon. This is when I just typed in very basic flower opening, show many flowers, beautiful, okay? It's okay. But honestly, when I use ChatGPT to create this prompt, I'm not gonna read this entire thing to you, but you can see it's like, you know, there's a lot of detail, but I just told ChatGPT to like make me a video prompt for flowers opening and shot with a, you know, high definition camera. But as we can see, let's go ahead and remove our history. The final result is actually much, much nicer. It looks much more realistic. Let's go ahead and full screen that. The final result is, I would say, way more photorealistic and all in all, just more interesting and beautiful and worthwhile. So it's really good to know that simply typing in a simple prompt, like a person like me, there's a reason I'm like a video and photo editor, right? I'm not a great writer, but with a little help from ChatGPT to give you more words and create a shot, like honestly, it made a huge difference. So that's kind of like my big takeaway with this software. I would love to know what your thoughts are on text to video and image to video. I gotta say, after doing this test, using ChatGPT to give me 180 words, specifying that you want it shot on a high-end camera, it really does make a difference, whether you're using image to video or text to video. That's a huge game changer. Now, I also want to say that Firefly is trained on Adobe stock, which means this is commercially viable. This is not just scraping the entire internet and finding every video and photo that's out there like some other programs do. You can actually use this for commercial purposes. So that's one thing that Adobe does have going for it. It comes at a little bit of a cost because instead of grabbing all of the images on the internet like some other AI programs do, it's just using Adobe stock. So because it has a smaller library of images and video that it's using, the generation is not quite as good, in my opinion, as some of the other ones, but on the other side, it is safe for commercial use, and you know that it's been done in an ethical way rather than just literally stealing everyone's copyrighted photos and videos from the internet. So if you're gonna be using text to video or image to video, my big suggestion is really pay attention to the prompt. And if you're like me and you don't know how to write fantastic prompts, just use ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a 180 word prompt, use a high-end camera and make it look really good, and the results will be much better. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a big thumbs up if you did. I'd love to know in the comments right down below what you think about text to video and image to video. Obviously, we're still in the new ages of this, so it's gonna get better and better and better. And who knows, one day probably, you know, I won't even be here. It's just gonna be a virtual representation of me, and then I'll have absolutely no use in this world anymore. And Who knows what I'll do with my time then. But until then, I'm still here. And if you want to get more free videos, learning Photoshop, photography, graphic design, video, all this stuff, go ahead and click on subscribe. Thanks again, and I'll Phlearn you later. Bye, everyone.